2021 finished extremely badly for the UK in terms of knife crime, with London registering a record rise in fatal teenage stabbings. A total of 30 boys and young men were killed. It's an epidemic which has swept across the country, and critics say the devastating death toll in the capital proves that anti-crime measures are not working. Well, to discuss what can be done, let's hear now from Patrick Green. He's CEO of the Ben Kinsella Trust, a charity set up in 2008 after the fatal stabbing of a 16-year-old in North London. Well, thanks for taking time to speak to us here on the programme. Well, the figures suggest the problem is getting worse. That the Metropolitan Police, though, says that serious violent crime is actually falling and that homicides rates for last year were the same as the year before. So what are the causes, do you think?
Well, there are three essential reasons, I think, why we're seeing knife crime, particularly amongst young people, and particularly murders amongst young people, increasing in London. One is the issue itself has never been properly tackled over the last 10 years or so. This is a societal problem. It's not a crime surge. It's something that we've seen consistently over the last decade and more, and it hasn't been addressed correctly. It hasn't. The long-term measures that are needed to tackle the key drivers in knife crime just haven't been tackled properly.
Well, what are those key drivers, you say, these long-term measures? What would you like to see happening?
Well, firstly, we suffered what's called austerity cuts over the last 10 years, and that was a big mistake. We lost 20,000 police officers across the country, and we saw a decimation of youth services. Both of those play a huge part in tackling knife crime. Police obviously take knives and those who carry them off our streets, but youth work does essential work in engaging with young people and putting them on the right track, introducing them to positive mentors, positive adults that can shape their lives for the future, and give them a strong counter-narrative to the misguided impression that a lot of young people hold that a knife can protect them. It doesn't protect them, it just puts them in more danger.
In the past, as you say, this is a problem which has been highlighted frequently over the last decade or so, in London in particular. So many things have been pointed as being culprits: social media, grime music. Is all of that still playing into this?
Social media particularly. If you look back at some of the tragic murders that we've seen across the last 4 or 5 years, one thing is strikingly evident. Many of these incidents start with frivolous arguments between young people over something, and often issues about feeling disrespected. And once they enter social media, they escalate and explode at a phenomenal rate, and lead to some of these tragic incidents. Social media companies have been really slow to tackle this, and really slow to join us to do more to educate young people around the dangers of knife crime. And they really need to step up to the plate. One of them, the key missing links in tackling this issue, and quite frankly, they shouldn't be sitting on their hands doing nothing. They should be joining us here.